Tripura and Gauranitai ki
This
jai.
meeting is being recorded.
Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki jai, Gauranitai ki jai, Panchatattva ki jai, Vamnadev ki jai, Giri Govardhan ki jai, Narsingh Bhagwan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev ki jai. Om Ajnanatimirantasya Jnananjana Chakshur Unmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavade Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, welcome to today's Everyday Gita program, and today we are going to see chapter 8, Attaining the Supreme, and the last verse, and it is a gem of the verse. So, last verse 8.28. Yeah. वेदेषु यज्ञेषु तपस्सु चैव दानेषु यत्पुण्यफलं प्रदिष्टाम् अत्येति तत्सर्वमिदं विदित्वा योगी परं स्थानम् उपैति चायम् वेदेषु यज्ञेषु तपस्सु चैव दानेषु यत्पुण्यफलं प्रदिष्टाम् अत्येति तत्सर्वमिदं विदित्वा yogi param sthanam upaiti chayam. So translation Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from the studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. Simply by performing devotional service, he attains all these, and at the end, he reaches the supreme eternal abode. So, Krishna has spoken different things before this shloka. So now in this shloka, he's just like coming to a conclusion for this chapter, and he's giving the gems of everything to us. So in this, he says, Punya phalam pradishtam. Prabhu, is the camera clear?
Yes,
Okay.
Mataji, it is clear.
Okay. He says, Punya phalam pradishtam. So one who is engaged in the devotional service gets all the pious results. In fact, he is surpassing all the pious activity results what we are getting. So what are the pious activity? Here he says the first thing is Vedeshu. So studying all the Vedic literature. By studying all the Vedic literature, whatever the pious results we are getting, those Yagneshu, doing all the sacrifices mentioned in the literatures, and then Tapashu, one who does lots of austerities. By doing austerities, what are the results being attained? Daneshu, and by giving charity for the right person at the right place and at the right time. So all these things, Vedeshu, Yagneshu, Tapassu, Daneshu. So Krishna is saying all these pious activities, the person is surpassing. What is that person doing? Atyeti tat sarvamidam viditva yogi param sthanam upaiti chadyam. So all these pious activities, when when is done, and the results whatever is obtained by doing all these pious activities, the person who does devotional service is surpassing all these activities. That's what he's saying. And in addition to whatever these people who are doing all these Vedas, Yajnas, Tapashu, Daneshu, and all these things, in addition to what they get, The person who is doing devotional service, he's getting something very, very special. That is, he attains the supreme abode. So he is attaining the supreme abode to stay eternally with Krishna and to serve him eternally. So let us just take this in detail. Here, the first thing is Vedeshu. So according to the Varnashrama Dharma, one has to go through like the society is divided into different sections, right? Like I have what are those Brahmana, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas and Sudras, and the person has to follow some of the rules also, Varnashrama. So first is and he has to follow like by undergoing brahmanical thing, brahmacharya ashram. So in brahmacharya ashram it is not easy. In brahmacharya ashram, the child at the age of 5 itself, he is being sent to the gurukul, and he'll be there at least till a minimum of 20 years. Yeah. So in the gurukul, it is very strict in gurukul too. In the gurukul, the guru is like taking care of all these kids. He will wake the kids up very early. The early morning, they will just have to wake up and they have to study the Vedic literatures. And after that, whatever varna they just belong to, even if they are a Brahmin or a Kshatriya, it doesn't matter. They have to go for bhiksham. They have to go for begging begging the rice and whatever it is. They have to go for bhiksham. So when it doesn't matter whether the student is a Kshatriya or a Brahmana, after studying all the Vedic scriptures in the morning, the first duty is they are going for this bhiksham, and they collect from different householders house. They collect the grains or whatever has been offered to them, and they bring it and give it to the guru, and the guru cooks it, and he offers it, and then he calls the students to eat, to honor the prasad. So if sometimes the guru is forgetting, then that's it, the student will never get the prasad. He has to stay starved. So these are the different procedures which is going in that brahmacharya ashram. Once after this brahmacharya ashram is done, like then based on the eligibility and those things, like the person is getting transferred to grahastha ashram. Depends on so many factors. So in grahastha ashram also, it is very strict, very these are all the Vedic times I'm talking about. So in grahastra ashram also, the principles are very strict. It's not very easy. One has to follow the garbhadan samskar, and he has to give charity, and all these principles should be followed very strictly. It's not for sense enjoyment. Grahastha ashram is not meant for sense enjoyment. It is it has to be the principles has to be followed very strictly, and um, the kids who are born, they have to be raised in Krishna consciousness. So after grahastha ashrama, when one has to, like the husband and wife has to go into the vanaprastha ashrama. So in vanaprastha ashrama, they go to pilgrimage places, and yeah, they just serve more, and after that, like based on their eligibility, they go for sannyasa, the husband. So it is not very easy. And one, when he attains this sannyasa ashrama, and when everything has been successfully done, then finally that person can attain the Brahma Jyoti, or even the higher level, even for Vaikunta also, Vaikunta planets, based on his advancement and the quality of advancement, how he is. But it is said here, let us see. Therefore, it is said here in the purport, the beauty of Krishna consciousness, however, is that by one stroke, by engaging in devotional service, one can surpass all the rituals of the different order of life. So, brahmacharya ashrama, grahastha ashrama, it's not easy. That too, especially in this Kali Yuga, we are very confused. We don't know which ashrama we belong to. We don't know, whether Brahmanas, we are Brahmana, we belong to Kshatriyas, or we belong to Vaishyas, or we belong to Shudras. Prabhupada says we all belong to Shudras. So, we are confused here. So in this stage when we are confused, things cannot be done in a proper way according to the scriptures. So the only thing here is the devotional service, the Hari Nama. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us a very simple technique to go back to Godhead. It is just chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So here, Prabhupada in his purport, he says, one can surpass all rituals of the different orders of life. How? Just by doing devotional service. It is very easy. No tension at all. Just by devotional service, we can surpass all the pious activities who all have done yajnas, who all have read Vedas, who is doing tapasya, dana, whatever results they are getting, the devotionals of the person who's following the devotional service, he is surpassing all the pious results. That's what Prabhupada is clearly saying here. So now, since we have come to the end of this chapter, here it is very important. The middle six chapter, Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters. The middle six chapters are very, very important. It's been protected. This six chapters is being protected by the other six chapters, divided on each side, 3 and 3. No, six. Yeah, sorry, 6 and 6. So this middle six chapters are very, very important. Here, Prabhupada says, one should try to understand these chapters not by scholarship or mental speculation, but by hearing them in association with devotees. Chapters 7 through 12 are the essence of Bhagavad Gita. The first six and the last six chapters are like coverings for the middle six chapters. That's why the middle six chapters are very, very important. It's been protected by the first six and the last six, which are the chapters like covering of the middle six chapters, which are especially protected by the Lord. If one is fortunate enough to understand Bhagavad Gita, especially these middle six chapters in the association of devotees, then his life at once becomes glorified beyond all penances, sacrifices, charities, speculations, etc. For one can achieve all the results of these activities simply by Krishna consciousness. So one should just, the six chapters are telling so much. This section is telling so much about Bhakti Yoga. It is amazing, really. So when a person hears this Bhagavad Gita from the right source, from the right person who's a devotee who has so much of love for Krishna, who has dedicated his life for Krishna, and he's always in the mood of serving Krishna. When a person is hearing the Bhagavad Gita from such type of person, then he also starts to become a devotee, and then his devotional service also slowly starts. He aspires to become a devotee, then his devotional service also increases, and finally when he becomes a pure devotee, he is surpassing all the pious results which has been obtained by all these people who learn Vedas, who do yajnas, tapasyas, and danas. All these activities, pious activities, results are being surpassed by the devotee who is just following the spiritual path, and who's hearing the Bhagavad Gita from the right source, from the right person. So here what Prabhupada says is, a person should hear Bhagavad Gita from the right person. He cannot go and hear from anyone, like the anyone who's a speculator or something like that. We cannot hear. Why? Why, when a devotee is talking about Bhagavad Gita, when he's teaching the Bhagavad Gita, because when he has the real love of Krishna, if we are hearing from that type of person, the love for Krishna is transferred from his heart to our heart. The real devotional service what he has is transferred from his heart to our heart. So that is very important. So hearing Bhagavad Gita should be from the right source, from the authority. So here, yeah. So what happens to the person if he has very little faith in the Bhagavad Gita? That's what even the next paragraph also Prabhupada is telling in the purport. If he has a little faith in Bhagavad Gita and if he wants to explore, what happens? Here Prabhupada says, one who has a little faith in Bhagavad Gita should learn Bhagavad Gita from a devotee, because the devotee has the real love of Krishna in his heart, which is automatically transferred to the person who's hearing Bhagavad Gita from this type of devotee. So here Prabhupada also says, because in the beginning of the fourth chapter, it is stated clearly that Bhagavad Gita can be understood only by devotees. No one else can perfectly understand the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. Only a devotee can understand the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. And not only he tries to understand, he tries to follow it, implement in his day-to-day life. So when a person is hearing from the type of devotee, automatically the love for Krishna and the love for devotional service and the love to become a devotee automatically transfers from that right devotee's heart to the neophyte's heart. So that is how the person should be hearing Bhagavad Gita from here, not from the Sanskrit scholars like great scholars or speculators and people like that. But because like when we are hearing Bhagavad Gita from a speculator or from a big scholar or whatever it is, what are we going to learn other than the grammar or maybe a little bit of meaning of it? And maybe you can just split this word and then combine with this word and read. Other than that, I don't, there is nothing we get when we are hearing Bhagavad Gita from a scholar or from a speculator point of view. So here, Prabhupada says, we want the essence of Bhagavad Gita. The unalloyed devotees only can give that essence of Bhagavad Gita. So the Bhagavad Gita should be heard only from the unalloyed devotees. When one searches for a devotee, unfortunately gets a devotees association, one actually begins to study and understand Bhagavad Gita. So that's why when Bhagavad Gita is spoken by the right authority, to hear from that type of devotee itself is a blessing for us, because once we start hearing, automatically the love for Krishna is being transferred here. That's why Prabhupada is saying, fortunately gets a devotee association, one actually begins to study and understand Bhagavad Gita. He also wants to become a devotee and start studying Bhagavad Gita. By advancement in the association of the devotee, one is placed in devotional service. When devotee association is there, um, automatically devotional service will be given. And when one falls in the devotional service, his doubts and everything will automatically be cleared. The anarthas, whatever he has in his heart about the name, fame and form of the Lord, once when he is engaged in the devotional service, automatically the anarthas gets vanished. Here Prabhupada is saying, the association of the devotee, one is placed in devotional service, and this service dispels all one's misgiving about Krishna or God and Krishna's activity, form, pastimes, name, and other features. So always the devotee association is very, very important. Krishna is stressing more on that. Now one becomes fixed in one study, then one relishes the study of Bhagavad Gita and attains the state of feeling always Krishna consciousness. Once getting the taste of it, once when he reaches that level of understanding by regularly attending the class and hearing from the right authority, once when he develops the taste for that devotional service, then he is being fixed. Then one relishes the study of Bhagavad Gita and attains the state of feeling always Krishna conscious. Then he is settled in Krishna consciousness. He wants to progress from that level. He will never fall down. So he wants to progress. That's why devotee association is very, very important. And here in Prabhupada also says, in the advanced stage, one falls completely in love with Krishna. He is in ecstasy. He is in full love with Krishna in the advanced stage. This highest perfection stage of life enables the devotee to be transferred to Krishna abode. That's what a devotee needs, right? When he has a complete faith, complete love for Krishna, and he is surrendered to his lotus feet, and always is only aim to serve Krishna, and then Krishna will finally take him to his abode automatically. Personally, he'll come and take him. So this highest perfection stage of life enables the devotee to be transferred to Krishna's abode in the spiritual sky, Goloka Vrindavan, where the devotee becomes eternally happy. He goes back home in this very lifetime itself. So it's very powerful, very powerful. The devotee association is very powerful. And the source, the authority source from whom we are hearing it, is also very important. That's how the change comes in a person. When he hears the scriptures from the right authority, then the effect of it is really transferred. How is the devotee feeling? How is that authority feeling? Because he has a pure love for Krishna, pure attachment, pure devotional service for Krishna. That is being automatically transferred to the person who's hearing from the right authority. So when we associate with the devotee of Krishna, we also have that Krishna Prem. The Krishna Prem is automatically being transferred to us. What else we need? That's what we need. We need only Krishna Prema. We need only Krishna Prema and Krishna Seva. We always have to be moved, thinking that we are the servant of the Krishna. When this happens, the ultimate goal will be achieved, and we can eternally stay with Krishna forever. That is the goal of life in this very lifetime itself. So practicing devotional service under the guidance of the right source, under the guidance of a pure devotee, surpasses all the pious activities which are done by studying Vedas, doing yajnas, doing tapasyas and danas, everything. All these pious activities results are being surpassed by pure devotional service. So under the guidance of a pure devotee. And when this is done, the rest of the things will automatically um, be set in its place. We can be very peaceful. We don't have to be stressed for anything else. So in this way, Krishna is like summarizing this chapter, eighth chapter, to attain the supreme personality of Godhead, to attain the supreme. He is just summarizing how to attain the supreme by glorifying the pure devotional service under the guidance of a pure devotee. So thank you, Matajis and Prabhujis. We are very happy to finish this eighth chapter and looking forward to start the ninth chapter. Even I am very eager to hear the ninth chapter. Thank you so much for attending today's class, and any doubts and comments. Yeah.